Hello, hello, hello. So today I want to share something amazing that I just studied from the Baal Shem Tov. It's a very well-known teaching, but I never studied it in this way before. The teaching goes like this, that we all have 42 life stops. Just like the Jews left Egypt, and that was kind of the exodus. When a person is born, it is the exodus from Egypt. But then, and this is highly critical, we have different stops. Now, some of the names were very beautiful, some of the names were not so beautiful. And the reason this is very, very critical is because as we go through life, first of all, one of the very interesting points to this that I never saw before, and it's a very, very true point, we go through stages of contraction and expansion. Now, every human being, by nature, the ego seeks to expand. And that is actually what happiness is when we feel expansive or powerful. On the other hand, we don't like to contract. We don't like to feel helpless. We certainly don't like to be shamed. We don't like fear. So expansion, you could almost call it as love, but really that's the ego's desire for something. And contraction, you could call fear, which is you're trying to not get hurt, so you're contracting yourself. And there are many, many different aspects. There's fear of shame, various different fears. But the bottom line is that we shouldn't expect life to only be positive. If it was only positive, you'd basically kind of go into a manic delusional state. A lot of people in the West that really haven't experienced negativity, they don't live in a reality. On the flip side, God forbid, if there's too much negativity, you have people, I don't know, other countries, I don't want to shame, but certainly let's just use Japan, that there's such contraction that they're hiding a certain savagery. And that's why when they actually had power, they were absolute savages. And that's so to be too contracted is not good. And therefore life gives you periods, times of expansion. Certainly when you grow, when you're just born, you're fed and the ego expands, it thinks it's so great. And then there's a contraction period when a child is like 2 years old, they kind of basically go through their terrible twos. They learn they're not God and they can't get their way, and that like humbles them. And we go through these periods of expansion and contraction. However, in absolute truth, every part of the journey is good. And in each element of the journey, if you are focused on the godly intent, you can always make it into a very special place.